So how did you set about starting that course? Like, how did you develop material? How did you market? How did you advertise? How did you actually execute the course? Tell us about that for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So this particular or like the set of companies that this private equity fund owned basically all had captive audiences of their own, because the main thing they started with was a membership group. If you know of like Entrepreneurs Organization or YPO or any of those kinds of membership communities, that was sort of the backbone of each one of their portfolio companies. And they would use the community they had to figure out, what are people talking about? Where do they need help? What are their needs? And they would use that data to then inform, okay, let's go teach this. Let's do an event on that. Let's have a conference in this city. Let's do a happy hour here. And so basically the entire strategy of delivering revenue generating things was based on what the actual members, is what we called the customers, were talking about. And so the AI thing just kept coming up more and more and more of, I wrote this prompt, but it spat out a crazy hallucination, or my CEO is saying we all have to adopt AI and no one knows what to do. And so after you hear those things enough, you start seeing, okay, the patterns are this, let's run a class. And so in this particular case that I'm describing, the problems basically were, I don't know how to prompt well. So we would do a lesson on prompting. I don't know which AI to use, because my company, A, doesn't have a perspective, and B, I as an individual don't have a perspective. The next thing would be, okay, well now I can talk to a chatbot and get good quality results, and I know which chatbots I like for which things. How do I start doing process and workflow, right? Because just chatting is not going to solve business problems that typically live inside of other tools. So then we would talk about, okay, how do you automate workflows using tools like Zapier or N8N? We would talk about strategic thinking, right? How do you actually figure out the direction of the company, and how can AI help you do market research or customer research or things like that? How can it distill out what would otherwise take weeks and weeks of human labor to read through call transcripts and spreadsheets and whatnot? We would talk about governance, and then basically people would cap off the class by delivering the plan for the next quarter's AI roadmap. And what was success for us as trainers was if that roadmap got accepted by your company for deployment, we had done a good job. If we took you from zero or, very low speed to I am deploying AI in production at my company next quarter, that's great. You can't ask for more.
Of course, because then you're teaching them to fish, right? Because it's like you started with absolutely not even knowing what an LLM was, for example.
Yes.
And maybe you heard about ChatGPT at that point, but not much more. And then here you are, Raul, like taking them through these courses or webinars or however you have kind of set up all the way to fruition, which means, and you kind of measured your own success or efficiency and efficacy based on the level that they were implementing AI back into their business.
Yes.